Yo, what's up, people? We're back. Day two,
Good
baby.
morning, everyone. How is everyone today? I can't see it yet, and I don't see any chats. Is that correct? There we go. Good morning, everyone.
Oh, yo, yo.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning, guys. Welcome to the South Africa Championship of watching paint dry. How are you doing? Well, I was sick yesterday. My laptop stopped working this morning, and the chart is absolutely refusing to move in any sort of direction. So it's I've been better. Let's put it that way. But at least I can look at Baxter's lovely face.
I have some good news, guys. We have taken, if any of you are in the Discord, you would have seen this, but we have taken one little trade this morning, and our balance is now at $5,066. So we are up $66. It's a very small step towards our 50K goal, but it's a step nonetheless, and it's better than a loss. So we take it.
Bro, the problem is, if I look at the chart, which you can see now on screen as well, the max move the market has given us is 1.6% in the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. In the last 32 hours, the market has only moved 1.6%. So that's...
Does that mean it's a rubber band ready to snap?
Bro, it's... I'm becoming a rubber band ready to jump off the balcony.
Let's get some positivity in here.
Yeah, it's all about positive vibes, but Jesus Christ. Listen, the thing doesn't move. You might as well just... Listen, I've seen bonds that move faster than this.
How are you guys in the chat going today?
Yeah, today's FOMC. So that's going to be at 8. So that's another 9 hours. But honestly, until then, until FOMC starts, it's going to be really, 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 really rough to find anything. Because look at this range compression, man. There's just nothing happening.
If anyone can find the range compression, it's you. I believe in you.
Bro, but the last 4 hours... The thing is, like, you can't even make back your fees in this. Because the range of the current 4 hour, and that has been live for 1 hour and 7 minutes, is 0.36%. So even at a leverage 100, you would only be up 36% if you did the max you could do. So, bro, I would love to give you a trade, but there's legitimately nothing to trade.
Someone asked, did we close the trade from the Discord? Yeah, that's the one that we made $66 on.
Yeah.
We had limit orders up until 74,800.
Listen, the limit orders are still valid, but it's just like we needed to make a bit of profit, or at least something that, you know, we made a Big Mac menu each.
Yeah, we did. We did. And if we make some more, maybe I'll order some Big Macs. I'll order you one as well, free of charge.
Wow.
I'm just that kind of guy.
Yeah, press 1 if you're bullish, press 2 if you're bearish. Let's see some sentiments. Let's see how everyone is feeling.
Now we're getting some movement.
Bro, it's $40.
What does the indicator say today, probability-wise?
Let me check. $79% down.
That's probably the highest I've ever seen.
Yeah. And the stars also say 72% down. That is indeed by far the most I have seen.
Well, that only means one thing.
We're going up. The rest of the indicators are sidelined. Bro, look at this. We went slightly below. It's fucking textbook again. You might as well just 100x long it because it's, you know, London opened again. London's gonna pump. This is the most anal market I've seen in years.
Meaning what?
Bro, it doesn't do anything. You can't even hit it with a stick. Even New York yesterday did nothing. You've seen it. You know, it dumped a bit, it went up back a bit, then overnight it went up a bit. It's within a 2% range for FOMC today. But the FOMC playbook has been the same for many, many, many times. We mark up to FOMC and then we dump back to the fucking abbeys. Or they invented a new playbook, but it's I'm very, 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 very skeptical about that, to be honest.
Someone said, bro, it's broke to rich and you start with over 100K. Not sure where you're seeing that, but we've got $5,000. That's the amount. So if we max out that whole account on 30x, for example, the position size is over 100K, but we've only got $5,000 in the account. We can't even add any more margin or anything. So that's the beginning. And no, we don't have music today. We still had technical difficulties with the music because we're in different spots. So Chento's audio and my audio were clashing, unfortunately. If you guys want some tunes, I recommend just putting some on in the background. Then you can choose what you like, because we're just going to be chatting and trading just like yesterday. I do, although, have a lovely surprise in case we end up closing a banger trade. So keep your eyes peeled for that. And of course, if you're not in the Discord, we will be posting the entries in the Discord as well if you can't tune into the stream today. So make sure you're in there. You guys in any trades at the moment?
I'm not.
I did see Chento post in the Discord how he's now trading on a fresh 500K account, which is pretty cool. Looking forward to seeing how that goes. I believe the goal is 5 million. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah, that's mental. What's the time frame goal on that?
Well, I hope to do it in a month, but with the current market, it's probably going to be 914 years. Oh, look at that. We're going up during London. We saw that coming.
If we took the range highs of like 74.6 or 74.8, would you look to short at that point potentially?
Yeah, but the thing is, right now it's just chilling at 74. We might, if we go there. If we go there, it's interesting to start shorting, but the question is, will we go there? I'm having music on, but the rest can't hear my music, can they?
They can't. So I think anyone today who wants some music, just chuck it on in the background. We will figure it out eventually, but the technical is never seem to come to an end on this stream, unfortunately. But we will.
Bro, I had to buy a new laptop for this. I couldn't even log into my laptop. I've never seen that.
That is, I've never seen that either. That is pretty crazy.
No, me neither.
What was it saying? Just incorrect password or something?
Nothing. Nothing. Didn't even say incorrect password. Look at this. Bro, there's a liquidation in this scandal. Who gets liquidated here? Let's look at the liquidation map, shall we? Ah, I can't anymore. Apparently, now that's big. This must be the most boring PA I've seen in... What's the move today? Well, honestly, just wait for 9 hours until FOMC comes, because anything before FOMC, it's not going to do anything. We have a big news day today. We have FOMC meeting, we have rates, so it's the federal funds rate, FOMC economic projections, FOMC statement, the press conference. So tonight is going to be one of those nights where Jerome Powell says good morning or good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and the market just moves 10K.
That'd be interesting to try and catch that. How many hours away is it? 9 hours.
9.
Yeah, right. Okay.
So it might be up again.
That's like 5 a.m. for me. 4 a.m.
Yeah, but look at this movement. Bex, like, for real, I want to give you a trade, but I have no idea what to tell you. Because the problem with markets like this is even if you're on the right side of things, you can't make money. You know? A market that moves 1%, even on 100x, minus the fees, you make 20%.
Yeah, makes sense.
So there's zero glory in that.
Someone said, are you going to be streaming FOMC on this channel or another channel?
Maybe. Still checking. I might stream it on Banter, to be honest. So that could be interesting.
Yeah, that would be cool to see you trade that.
Yeah, would be fun. Could be a lot of fun. But look at this PA. Look at where it is. Look at how it's moving on the 5 second even. It's just absolutely dreadful.
I guess we'll see if we can potentially try and retest resistance that it's hit a few times today of 74.6.
Which one? 74.6? It's probably going to have the same playbook.
Pardon?
It's probably going to have the same FOMC playbook. And the FOMC playbook is normally... Bro, the market has done this so many times. It's just ramping up to FOMC, then FOMC starts, it goes slightly up, then it dumps, and everyone thinks, oh, this is the dump, then everyone longs, and then they just run it back to 68K. It has been done so many times. But the days before FOMC, from the Monday onwards, are always insanely dreadful. Why? Because the market just absolutely stops moving. It's like they hit a pause button at the market makers. So look at the live streams. We have 130 people watching. Even the people are tired of this. Yeah, there's no glory to be made.
Bad week.
Yeah, but that's this week is something on its own, my friend. It's ludicrous. The things that happened this week, I have not seen happening before.
So what would you look to do in FOMC if there's a huge pump? Are you looking to ride the momentum of that or try and find the spot which it'll reverse? Because
normally, honestly, I don't touch FOMC. And normally, I just don't touch it. Why? Because there's no glory to be made. Like, they could do potentially whatever they want. They might even go to 81. You just don't know. The thing is, this PA, especially with this range compression and this momentum, it's best just to have a high time frame trade and come back in a week. 68, 69 would be huge liquidation. Yeah, it would always be the most sensible thing to do. Go back to 68. But look at this price action, you know? So it goes to 74, 120, 74, 140. We're just looking at, since we started to stream, we're looking at $100 price range. So in the last 15 minutes, it moved $100. Bro, even with 100 Bitcoin, you can't make money. Because I have what is it? 100 and, let me check, an 81 Bitcoin position open. I can't even cover my fees.
So what are you in? Are you in a short?
Yeah, from higher. So it's 74.4. But I can't even cover my fees.
What's your TP on that short?
62K.
Right, okay, that's a big one.
Yeah.
So the profit on that will be ludicrous. Is that
Let
in
me
your
check
new
for you.
challenge account?
Yeah. So first TP would be 68K, and that's 493,000.
Yeah, that's a nice payday. That'll buy you a few Big Macs.
Yeah, that will get us there. So, can you teach me how to solve a Rubik's Cube?
Good luck. The best way to learn, I watched this like 45-minute YouTube tutorial just over and over again. I'm sure there's a few people in the chat who have done the same thing. It's pretty fun. When I was like 16, just solve it. You make the pattern and then you learn the algorithm. It's like learning cheat codes. Did you ever play GTA and learn the cheat codes and like up, down,
Bro,
left,
I
right?
still know cheat codes from my head from GTA San Andreas. You can Google this. Fighter jet is triangle, square, circle, X, L1, L1, down, up.
Spawn a fighter jet.
I swear. Fighter jet, GTA San Andreas.
Exactly the same. Like learning a Rubik's Cube is exactly the same as learning cheat codes. You just have to know
You see,
numerous of them.
triangle, square, circle, X, L1, L1, down, up.
Goat. I used to play that as well. It's a fun game.
Bro, but look at these candles on the 5-second chart. Holy shit, man. It's just...
So if we were to
just
capture the
can't.
whole range of from 73.5 to 74.6, that would have to be the best case scenario to just ride the entire thing, and then at that point, would it be worth it?
That could make you potentially on 100x 4.5K.
Yeah, that's not
So
very
if
much,
you
is
have
it?
the absolute best entry and absolute best exit, it's 4.5K. So it's not worth it, you know. Max, it's gonna be an absolute consolidation day. It's gonna be insanely dreadful. What it's gonna do now is gonna slowly creep up again to the highs. Why? Because it's a little bitch. Look at also the greenness of the candles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 green candles, and they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 candles down. But look at how easy they pump it back. Like there's no resistance of it whatsoever. So they just do 0.8% spot move up again. Wow. There's no reasoning. There's no idea behind it. Yeah. So our sentiment currently is bullish, but it's so compressed. Look at how all the lines are compressing together.
Yeah.
Remember that line from yesterday that was at... Remember the line from yesterday that was at 73K, like the first one?
Yeah, it's been
It's now
bouncing
already
there
at
well.
73.6. Huh?
Been bouncing off that line pretty well, or close to it,
Yeah.
especially there on the second one, that first one. I feel like based on the indicator saying 80% down, that's pretty high, but I guess it probably wouldn't account for FOMC dizziness.
It will.
Indicator.
It does. It looks at news events as well.
Okay. Because that's pretty high. I've never seen 80. That almost seems crazy to long against that, just based on that alone.
It's my first time seeing it. And look, then they reverse it back. And then they're going to have an equal bottom here. And then they're just going to set up camp here for a while.
Someone said, can you tell us about the short position in the Discord? Yeah, we closed that for a small profit. I made $66 on it. You can see on the bottom, if you zoom in under assets, we've got $5,066. So that one was closed just under break even. Well, sorry, just over break even. We made a little bit on that.
We're 130 people. I've never seen such a low viewer count on my channel for years.
Yeah, that is low. Is it the time? Is it the time difference? Is the average
think
audience
so.
just waking up potentially? Because we did start yesterday 2 hours later. Could be.
Yeah.
Could be why. It does seem very low.
I would tell the Discord that we're doing a giveaway. That will help. Because people are on work. Yeah, but listen, if I stream at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, people are still working, right?
Yeah, that is.
You see, now they're setting up camp here. They're pumping back up immediately.
Oh, yeah, people saying it's 3 a.m. in America. This is very, very early in the morning. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Because that amount of fluctuation would definitely have to be time zone based. I'd say it'll grow.
Can we do something that we get a message on Discord too? No. There's like legitimately no way to code that, and I'm not an octopus. Oh, Baxter, what's the plan here? Like, I love spending time with you, but just sitting here watching paint dry within $100 range is not, yeah, as minus 48 added value.
Yeah, well, it's interesting. I don't know the answer. If you don't think we're going to see anything, then yeah, I guess there's not much point. But I wonder if.
Bro, I can promise you we're not going to see anything.
Yeah, well, if that's the case, then there is not a whole lot of purpose.
No. Let's get some entertainment. No, I'm not going to get harassed by 𝗕𝗏𝗏𝗏 again. Listen, at least yesterday we had slight movement, but now we're just, bro, it's absolutely nothing. Look at this. We've been live for 25 minutes. What have we seen? A $100 move? All right, at least people are coming now. So we can turn this into educational. If you guys have questions or whatever, I'm more than happy. I'm more than willing to.
I've got an interesting
answer your questions.
People might be curious in when you're figuring out your daily bias for that day. What are you looking at? Is it nowadays just your indicator? Do you zoom out, look at the higher time frame? Do you draw out anything like trend lines or the basic stuff like support and resistance, or are you just ignoring all of that at this point?
It's ballsy of yours to mention support and resistance and trend lines to me, isn't it? No,
Well, you never know. I'm because it's interesting to think about what you're actually looking at when you're looking
yeah,
at the
I look
chart.
at the dwell blocks and I look at the move that has happened overnight. And if we're consolidating below a dwell block, I'm bearish. If we're consolidating above, I'm bullish. And as you can see here, like we can't break the. This is such an important dwell block because it's the previous. It's a previous all-time high level there. So for me, as long as we're underneath this area, so below 75, there's no reason to be bullish for me. The 72 next, after that 71, and we're back into the 60s. I see legitimately zero reason why we should be bullish here because we're consolidating underneath it. And the consolidation underneath until now has always been bearish, always worked out bearish, always has been bearish, and always will be bearish. So people can fight me about it. People can tell me otherwise, but it's a proven strategy.
So that's the reason for your like lower leverage full port in your challenge account, short to 62k, because
Yeah.
we're consolidating under the dwell block.
Yes.
Sense. So in under that same theory of that trade, would it be a potential strategy to wait for it to hit the top of that 12 block range that it has struggled to break through so many times and look for a short entry there on this account?
Yeah, but it depends on the leverage and on how patient we want to be. The thing is, with this account, we need to ramp it up pretty fast soon, right? Because we want to finish the challenge. So we got to be slightly more aggressive, or we got to choose that we're changing basically. And if we're changing, good morning. Yeah.
Can we go live together or what?
Yeah, we can go live together.
Let's go. Let me put up a chair, bro.
Yeah. Oh, you
Oh, it's
can't
Baxter.
hear my
It's the
sound,
big
right?
doll.
Yeah.
Oh wait, I can probably hear it there. Bro,
What's going on, Rand?
are we live on YouTube or where are we?
Yeah. No, the mic is not working. Nothing is working. So it's my camera, my mic for my laptop.
But why don't you plug in the mic?
Because it doesn't work.
Of course it works. I used it for months, but it works.
Yeah, we couldn't get it to work. So we're just watching the South African World Championship of Paint Dry.
Oh wow, it is quite boring out there, eh?
Yeah.
But don't worry, tonight it'll get a little bit less boring. I promise you that much. It'll get very fun tonight.
Yeah. Are we gonna stream FOMC together?
You guys are gonna stream. I'm gonna jump on because I'm gonna be a little bit late. Because
Okay.
remember, the volatility is gonna happen at 8 o'clock South African. That's when the volatility is gonna happen.
Yeah, it's gonna be finally gonna be something.
I think it's gonna fool us. I think what's gonna happen is as the FOMC comes out, it's gonna go down, and then I think it's gonna stay down, and then by the end of the FOMC or tomorrow morning, it's gonna be up again. Because I think there's a lot of like buying power behind this fucking thing all of a sudden, and I think Powell's words are just gonna go.
But it's always the same. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. And the chart goes like K up, K down. But yeah,
People
you
in
might
the
be
chat
right. Even
saying
though
that
the
I need to
last
set an
3
alarm and
FOMCs.
come back at like 4 a.m. my time for FOMC because that's when the magic happens apparently.
Really? You're gonna get up?
Well, people are saying I
mean-
should. There's a chance. There's a chance. I'm not going to be in my finest form though at that time. I will
You know,
say.
bro. Bro. It's shit to be Dutch, right? But it's very shit to be Australian, bro. That time zone makes no sense.
Listen,
bro.
honestly, Dutch is one of
it is a terrible time
the
zone. It's
nicest
literally the
time
moment you go to
zones
sleep.
be.
But I mean, just being a Dutch person is shit. But I'm saying,
Yeah,
I'm kidding.
tax-wise,
Tax-wise, it's shit, bro.
tax-wise, we get.
and no, look, I love the Netherlands. Okay, I'll tell you what I love about the Netherlands. Let's go through it one by one. Okay, number one, I love the food. I fucking love Dutch food. I love cheese. I love fucking fish. I love that shit. So I love Dutch food. Fucking love it. Okay, I love the women. When they're young, they're amazing. They, like beautiful, blonde, fucking big blue eyes. So I love the Dutch woman. I actually dated a Dutch girl for a couple of years.
Really?
Yeah. She's still one of my,
Your all-time favorites.
One of my all-time favorites.
Oh my gosh.
So I love that. I love the country, bro. I love the fact that everyone's on bicycles all the time, etc. It's amazing. I love the Grand Prix, the GP. Zandvoort is one of my favorite.
Yeah, it's nice.
One of my favorite things. Okay, but let's talk about things I don't really love so much, right? The taxes.
No,
The
taxes
taxes
are
are shit.
horrible.
The taxes can't be
The
worse
fact
than
that they
ours.
expect the fact that they expect you to be in a system. They love it when everybody's in a system.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's to an insane extent. It's systemized.
Yeah, which I don't love. It's I don't like winter in Netherlands.
Oh no, that's really bad.
Really bad, very fucking bad. Cold and shit and raining. And that. Actually, one of the things that I love that I forgot to mention, I love Dutch spas, bro. Baxter, have you been to a Dutch spa?
No, I've only
Like a
been to
sauna and a
Amsterdam.
spa.
Like the 𝗕𝗟𝗢𝗙 2000s.
I'll tell you what happened to me. I don't know what 𝗕𝗟𝗢𝗙 2000s. I went to the gym, right? And then after the gym, I got a routine. After the gym, I do a sauna for like 15 minutes. And then here in South Africa, I do an ice bath for 15 minutes.
15-minute ice bath.
No, I do 6 minutes ice bath, but I do a 15-minute sauna. Anyway, so I train at the gym in Netherlands. Then I go to the bathroom, I shower, whatever, and then I go to the sauna. So I'm sitting on the towel on the sauna, not chilling, obviously not wearing anything because that's a sauna. And these two women just walk into the sauna naked. So I thought, fuck, I made a mistake. So I quickly cover myself up, and I leave the
Is there a
sauna
reason
because
you
thinking
covered
I
yourself
by
up?
mistake walked into the girls' bathroom, bro. So I closed
No,
my.
it's mutual.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay, but someone could have warned me, bro. Did you know that it's mutual? Like mutual means
Isn't that?
Well, fresh
Yeah,
out the
but
ice
here-
bath, you probably weren't in your best form as well. So
no.
Not in your best form.
No, bro. It was one of the most awkward things I've ever experienced in my life because it was unexpected. I just arrived there. I was lying down, chilling.
Listen,
minding
I
my-
didn't even know that normally it's separate. Because I'm used to the
Normally
Netherlands.
it's separate, bro.
Really?
Yeah,
But
normally.
that's so boring.
I don't know. What do people in the chat say? Let's see what the people in the chat say.
I
Yeah,
feel like that's
guys,
very European.
where
Every
you're
European country
at-
I've been to, there's so many naked, everyone's naked at all times, including
Yeah,
me.
but I don't know. Look, I think if you're expecting it, it's fine. But to me, it caught me by surprise, bro.
Tenting in the sauna.
No, this is what Dave doesn't understand. I wasn't tenting because I was just after the ice bath.
Yeah.
You can't tent after an ice bath.
No, you can't.
Considering nothing's happening on Bitcoin, let's check the bubbles. Go to the banter bubbles. Let's see what's going on in the bubbles. Let's see if nothing's happening on Bitcoin. There's always something. I know 𝗕𝗏 is moving today.
Ran, are
That's what was
you
moving today.
looking at any particular levels for buying or shorting? Are you bullish right now?
I'm neutral right now. I'll show you in a second why I'm neutral. So, okay, so Casper moving. Let's just look at the next one, next 200. Let's just see what else is moving. See, 𝗕𝗏's moving today. I know why it's moving. Hang on, hold on. Let's just close that. What browser is this?
Safari.
Okay.
You're new here.
I'm new here. I don't know how to use Safari. 165. 𝗕𝗏's moving. Light is moving up 10%. Okay, means something happening. What am I looking at? I'll show you. What chart is this?
You need trading view.
Can I have a normal trading view chart?
You don't want a 5 second?
Me, a normal chart is not an option.
Bro,
But
why does nothing work here, bro?
it's your office. I
Yeah.
don't want to be a bitch, but
I mean, but hold on. Why are your candles on 5 minutes?
why?
5 minutes.
Is it too high of a time frame?
Yeah, you should. I mean, you should be on the 1 minute.
Bro, I'm on the 5 second on the other one.
Okay, so I'll show you what I'm looking at here. Okay,
This is Bitcoin, right?
this is Bitcoin, bro. Can I get a clean chart here without?
What do you need?
With so many, just
Another
like a clean
Bitcoin.
chart without so many lines and shit.
Mm.
Okay, I'm waiting for this. This is my level here. I'm watching this flag over here. Even though Chento will tell me I'm just, oh, jeez, I can't even use your mouse. You see this? Oh man, I don't know how to use your mouse and your.
What do you want to draw?
I want to draw that there.
Okay.
I'm looking at that line over there. You see? I'm waiting to see if this either breaks through this or it breaks down like a bear flag. One of those two things will happen tonight. So it is crunch time tonight. You see, if you look at this chart, I can't really draw charts because I don't know how to use this mouse, but it's
Yeah, it's about the mouse, huh?
it's about the mouse, exactly. Okay, so you see, there's a series of these flags. Let me try and put a nice. Oh Jesus Christ. Okay, you can kind of see it. There's a series of these flags right now. We're at the top here, so it means that either we break up above this tonight during the FOMC, or we break down. If we break down, it's not the happiest situation. Why? Because then either we come back to somewhere here, 67, 68,
Yeah,
Or-
68 is my take profit.
or we break down, or we break all the way down, right? Or we can break all the way down to, like, I don't know, the next level down. So sorry, my flags look very bad here. But so basically, I'm watching the 75,000 level tonight. We need to break above 75 during FOMC.
Yeah, if we don't break 75.1, we'll go into 68.
Exactly.
Minimum.
That's exactly my thesis.
Yeah.
That's exactly my thesis. So
We shall see.
That's what I'm looking at. And I think it'll happen. It should happen tonight. I mean, should happen tonight.
Yeah, you can.
There we go.
We're doing a trading challenge at the moment. We've got 5K. Haven't taken anything. We streamed yesterday and today we're up $66 because we took one little trade earlier. But
what'd you trade?
Bitcoin.
A Bitcoin short. Just caught a little move.
I
think it
don't-
was
I don't
$200
trade
move or something.
You only trade Bitcoin, yeah,
Yes.
of course. Yeah, of course. You only trade, but you got crazy leverage.
No, it's fine. Like my other account yesterday started the 500K to 5 million challenge.
Wow.
Yeah, that one was fine.
I want to join that one.
Yeah, that's fine. So first day I'm at 606.
So, but how do you do that? What do I need to do? Do I need to leverage 125x or what's
No. It's just leverage 10, you know. It's
leverage 10? Okay.
nothing special.
Yeah,
I
up 100K
just
in one
took
day, not bad.
Yeah.
No, I had worse days, to be honest.
You trade with stop losses.
Yeah.
Okay. So there we go.
Liquidation is a stop loss, right? No.
Yeah, especially if it's on your United account, on your Unified account.
Oh, imagine. No. See, I'm doing that with Bluefin now. And that's, it's holding up better than I expected, because yesterday I also talked with the BD manager and I was like, can I try to market order this? And he was like,
No.
go for it. So I just market ordered 118 Bitcoin and it survived.
Oh, wow. Okay.
The big buy. That is
What time frame is this? Where did you even find this button?
This is a daily, bro.
Oh, that's where the D stands
This
for.
is a daily. This
Daily.
is what normal
I've-
people. This is
I've-
what normal people trade, bro.
Never been here.
Never been here, right?
No. That's better. 5 seconds. Now we
So
can relax.
are you fully risk off at the moment then, Ran, waiting for this decision?
No, I'm fully risk on, bro. I'm not really a trader. I'm an investor, and the market's low enough for me to be fully risk on. So I'm fully risk on at the moment.
Oh, okay.
I'm fully allocated.
Really? Wow. Do you touch
Yeah.
equities at all?
Yeah, I do. I've got a basket. I've got a portfolio of equities. Today I started buying Dubai real estate. So
Really?
I bought the two biggest developers in Dubai.
EMA
They're
and
about-
what's the other one?
The Mac, or not the Mac,
Denmark.
it's something like a DMAR or something like that. So I bought those two today.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, they
Oh,
got
wow.
slammed
Look at that.
35%
Oh,
or so.
Yeah, you know what? Because because my time frame is long, I don't mind layering it now because I'm gonna hold it for years, right?
So you
It's a
got faith
different
in
vision.
Dubai.
Yeah, very much so. I mean, what's changed?
The thing is, if I look at how old the country is and how they're actually actively handling this situation, I think they're doing an amazing job.
I agree.
If you look at established countries like, for example, the Netherlands, France, or England, I don't know if they did the same amount of a good job. How
You know
they're
what?
controlling the media, how the air defense is working, how fast they got everything back up and running. It's
You know
pretty
what?
astonishing.
You know what? So legacy countries have legacy systems that they have to upgrade. So you think about like Dubai versus London, right? So London or the UK has got like these old antiquated systems, right? Dubai went in and their first system was an AI system.
Yeah.
Do you understand what I'm saying? It's like they don't have to upgrade systems. They don't have to upgrade software. Their first system was like a fucking AI system.
Yeah.
You know, I have a friend who's very high up in Dubai. I'm not going to mention his position or his name just because I don't know if he wants me to talk about it.
Probably not.
But the one day he said to me, "Give me your phone." And I said to him, "Why?" He says, "I'm going to unlock it for you." So I gave him my phone as a joke. I thought it was a joke. So I gave him the phone. I said, "Unlock." I said, "Cool." He said, "Give me 3 minutes." Got onto his phone. He texted us. He was texting, blah, blah, blah. I don't know what he was texting. 3 minutes later, he said, "Give me your phone." Took my phone, opened it. I was like, "How the fuck did you do that?"
Gee whiz, that is crazy.
He said, "Every centimeter of Dubai is under camera. And you were at the Mall of the Emirates earlier and you unlocked your phone with your fingers. In other words, your face recognition, you unlocked your phone with your fingers. And that's how I knew your code." Okay? Now, he was high up in the hierarchy of people to be able to access that information.
Wow, that's crazy.
But it
That's crazy.
it shows you how sophisticated Dubai is. It shows you how
Insane.
It's insanely
It's the same as
insane.
Singapore. Like if you look at also the police force on the street in Singapore and Dubai, you don't see them.
You don't see them.
You don't see them.
Cameras.
But imagine as soon as shit hits the fan there or anything happens,
Yeah.
it's
Cameras, bro.
yeah.
Look, I love Dubai a lot. I mean, I think it's one of the most. It's probably the most incredible country. But I think I also like having freedom to say what I want to say without being scared. And like I don't think you really get that in Dubai, where you can say what you want to say without being scared.
Especially at the moment.
Anytime, anytime. Someone says Dubai jail is nice. Yeah. Someone says Dave says exactly. It's expensive. UK needs to replace everything. Nothing works. I don't really like. Yeah, the UK is not one of my favorite places.
Either. I went to London a few times and I'm not a fan at all. The food, especially, is so expensive and just really shit. I thought I was unimpressed.
Yeah,
They've got it pretty good over
also
here.
the weather shit. Bro, on the 5-minute chart, it's like when it moves from 74,000 to 74,200, for 74,200 to 74,220. That's quite a move on the 5-minute chart, eh? Like that's like a big green candle.
$20.
I mean, on the 5-minute chart, it looks like it, right?
No, on the 5-minute chart, it's.
I think you're getting
Look,
pranked.
this is the 5-minute. It's just like.
So, are you in a trade here, or what?
No.
Or are you just talking shit?
Yeah, we were looking for trades, but the thing is, the range since yesterday evening is 1.7%.
Oh, wow.
Like, what are you trading? Even on 100x leverage, you can a minus fee should make 120%. It's not worth it.
No, I'm not trading anything then.
No, it's just sitting talking.
So you should do the stream at when the FOMC's on.
Yeah, we will.
Rand, are you bullish on like US equities at the moment? Do you have a stance on those?
I mean, I don't know. Sorry, Jen. Sorry. Second. Hold on a second. We own one. Wait. I mean, I own baskets of stocks. I'm not good enough to actually pick stocks, so I don't. You know what I mean? Like, I don't have an edge like in crypto where I speak to people every day. I do the research. Stocks, I just hold a basket. I hold ETFs. You know, like, and then just let them compound.
Okay.
I think that's the biggest thing that people don't understand is that, and I'll actually tell you how I learned this lesson. So because I worked from nothing, and when I sold my first business, that was in 2015. I sold it. So I sold the business for a lot of money. I sold the business for like $150 million. It was quite a famous sell. It's like the biggest sell of a marketing company in Africa. But then I made one of life's most critical, crucial mistakes. I'm embarrassed to say it, but I'm going to say it anyway. I didn't invest the money. I just kept it in cash. And the reason why I kept it in cash was because I was so scared to lose it, because it took me so long to build that amount of money that I didn't invest it. Fast forward 4 years later, if I would have just kept that money in the market, I would have doubled it, right? I would have doubled it. I would have had gone from 150 to 300 million on paper, right? I'm giving you round numbers because there's taxes involved and everything else. But I'm just saying the 150 would have become 300 million.
Yeah.
And the reason why I didn't invest it is because I was so busy trying to build my next business that I never sat down for 5 minutes and said, let me just spend 10 minutes a day just managing my portfolio. Now, when you fast forward 4 years later, that money would have been worth 300 million. So I would have made 150 million. How much money did I make working 24/7, 365 on my new business? Nowhere near that. So it's like sometimes the smartest thing to do is to just spend a little bit of time managing the money, the little bit of money that you actually have. That's probably if now, in terms of priorities, I would say the first priority, manage the money you have. The second priority, build something new, right? Obviously, because I've maybe got a little bit of cash, but it's a super important lesson about like why you should just put money into investments.
Yeah,
Hello.
that's interesting.
Oh, is it now? Oh, I got a meeting. Ciao, guys. Bye.
Peace, Rand. Have a good one. Cool cameo from the goat there.
Yeah. So yeah, that was a little intermezzo. Any questions about that?
I did notice that our second limit order that we cancelled would have gotten hit because it hit 240.
Yeah, but it's gonna go back up again as well. So yeah.
So you're not interested
really,
in
doing
rehashing
anything.
that trade? You guys got any questions for Chento while we're watching the charts? I promise this will become a lot more entertaining when we're actually in something with some size. It's been an unfortunate 24 hours of movement. What are the positions right now? We're in no positions right now. We took one small trade earlier with 20% of the size because we had limit orders set up to allocate 100% of the account, but those never got hit. So we're in with $1,000 out of the 5K, and we ended up closing it for $66 profit. So right now we've got $5,066 to deploy when something.
What did you say? Sorry.
I was just updating about what happened with that last trade, small profit, and watching now.
Yeah, true.
No, we didn't long. It was a short.
No, we're not doing anything right now. Baxter, you the bro guy.
Yes.
No, it's me.
I'm not actually a broke guy, but the purpose was a small account, so I could effectively be broke, and this would be the exact same. Brand has such a positive aura. I agree. That guy's got game.
Yeah.
Got serious game. So what do you think, Chento?
Is that a good summary?
Did we just choose the worst week to do this, or is it typical?
Yes. No, you choose it by far.
Someone's wondering how to talk through fees, calculating fees on a trade. Is there some quick maths you do in your head?
What, for the fees? Yeah, I do it in my head. So that's the only way to do it. Like, you know what the average fee percentage is. And yeah. Wait 1 second. I'm still in stream, but
cool.
Yeah.
I'll come later.
Yeah. Baxter, can you entertain the people? I'm back in a minute.
No worries, can do.
So
Something interesting I've just seen is that order had hit at 200, we would be up. Nothing crazy, obviously. It's only like $150 move, $120 move. That's interesting. Those limit orders that we had set earlier were pretty spot on, at least for right now. But Chento thinks it will rebound back again, so we'll see what happens. You guys got any questions for me in the chat? If so, drop them through. Let's talk. For anyone new who wasn't here yesterday, the entire purpose of this is seeing how much we can grow a $5,000 account. The main goal, the overall goal is for it to hit 50K. And I think we can do it. Chento's done crazier in the past, but I've obviously chosen a pretty poor 48 hours, at least so far. So we're going to need some serious momentum, heat it up in these final days. If we still get garbage, then we'll extend it by a few days because we want it to be entertaining and we want to make money. So asking about what to do with Solana. Chento, at least in my experience with him, doesn't really look at anything besides Bitcoin.
I like
Essentially-
Solana.
Well, what are your thoughts on Solana at the moment?
I think Solana is insanely undervalued, but it's probably the only one that is insanely undervalued. But yeah, that's my current thought.
Someone said we deleted all limit orders. Yes, we did. So the short is done, and so are the limit orders. So if you hadn't closed that short, it's currently right at break even where we entered. So if you've still got it open, not financial advice obviously, but we have closed it. So on our challenge account that's closed, we made $60. About sizing for this challenge, we are going to be most likely full porting most of the trades, at least on stream, because the
Yeah, we
goal
have
is
to,
so
otherwise
ridiculous.
it's impossible.
Yeah, the goal is so ridiculous. So full port plus high leverage is our plan. And that's why it's an amount of money that we're willing to lose, because obviously that's high risk trading. Alan says, just go to sleep. No need wasting your time before FOMC. It's interesting point. Australia time zone does screw us, doesn't it? Screws me and any other Aussies. Yes, we're going full degen mode. There's no choice. If you want to turn 5k into 50k, that's likely the reality. Full degen. Calculated degen.
Wait 1 second, I need to listen to something. Baxter, what's your background and exposure to crypto?
I've had actually a ton of exposure. I graduated school when I was, well, obviously I was the same age as everyone when they graduate school, but that was like 2018, 2019 when crypto was going bananas. So I've been looking at the price of Bitcoin since 2016, 2017. Didn't buy any back then just because I was so young. Started holding it from 2019, but I've never really held much of a bag. I've definitely got caught up in all of the hype. So when meme coins were crushing, and then 2021 when that transitioned into NFTs, I feel like if you made money out of NFTs, good on you, but I did not. The only good NFT play I had was Pudgy Penguins. I had a couple Pudgies and mini Pudgies or Lil Pudgies. Pudgy fishing rod, like the Luca Nets project. That one was one of the only ones I've still seen even hold up remotely to this day. But yeah, the NFT time, the meme coin time, the altcoin time when just choosing random altcoins was going 10, 20x. That was crazy as well. So looking back, hindsight's everything, but gosh, I should have made a lot more money than what I did being around for all those times, because far out, there was a lot of opportunity. Mental. But yeah, I've been in the investing space for 8 years now or so it's been a while. Any of you guys in here holding stocks? And if so, anyone with experience, what's your thoughts on the US equities market at the moment? I'm in a pretty interesting spot where I feel like the potential for downside is so high, but the potential for upside, I just feel like naturally you look at these companies and you think, how much bigger can they really get? The Magnificent Seven companies that are holding up the S&P and so on are so huge already. Who this is just very basic and nuanced, but like, who in the world doesn't know and isn't using Nvidia products and Apple and Google and so on? Like, how much bigger can they really get? And with all the global war and AI taking people's jobs and all of that, I just feel like, far out, man, we've got a long way down if that's to be the case. So I'm pretty risk off at the moment with stocks. The least amount of stocks I've ever held from when I was 18. I've always had almost all my money in there, which has served me well to this point. But now I'm basically doing the exact opposite of what Rand just said in his advice. He said not having his money invested. I'm actually pretty cash heavy right now. Don't tell him I said that.
Me too. I'm also mostly cash heavy, to be honest.
I just feel like we're in a time in history that we've never been at before. Because the Industrial Revolution was comparable, but man, like, AI is so ridiculously good and smart. And if you're just doing a basic job, I don't know, I feel like your future is going to be pretty unsettling in a job.
It might be. Doesn't have to be, but it might be.
Yeah, the uncertainty is making me risk off right now, personally. Baxter's been in the kitchen for years, it sounds, but naturally he's here from a teaching from Ramsey. Exactly. Couldn't have said it better myself. And Chento's unique. Like, the trading style.
Definitely am.
As a person, he's unique as fuck. And the trading is also unique. Fuck. Like, trading on the 5 second, all the probability indicators, everything, it's awesome. And his results back it up. So it's not just watching some bullshit guy rambling. He's got the results. So I think this challenge will be really sick once we can get going, but we're in a slump. But we haven't lost any money. And
no, we made $60, which
not losing is a win in itself. Because a challenge like this could be going south, so we're fine.
Listen, still, like, the market now, and it looks like a big move, but it was $130. Like, I don't know what to tell you or what to do, to be honest.
Someone said AI isn't smart. We're just realizing right now how incredibly stupid we all are. That's valid. But if you think about it, it's pretty smart. What does it know? What does it not know that you know? There's only a few things that I can think of. It's pretty freaking good. Even just the basic stuff, like just punching something into ChatGPT Premium and letting it spit it out. It's like, well, I would have had to find a friend who was really knowledgeable about that subject to get an answer, and you wouldn't have got it in 5 seconds. These basic day-to-day things is changing. And 2023, it was not as good as it is. Someone else says AI is not smart, you overvalue it. It's really good, but it's unable to replace anyone right now, because anyone right now besides people that could have already been replaced with algos. I see your point, but if you look at people who are doing things like bookkeeping, for example, and punching in the numbers in a typical business, like a plumbing place, they're doing the admin work and things like that. It's a pretty big population of people, and I feel like there's never really been a product that could automate that as well as and as easy as it is now. It's so easy. But potentially I am overvaluing it for sure. I could most definitely be wrong, but my thought process behind it is there's so much that can go wrong in the markets right now, and how much more right can it go? That's why I'm risk off. It doesn't know it can look up everything immediately. Yeah.
AI hallucination is giving false data in a very high rate. Yeah, AI hallucinations is a real thing. Like the people with the 6 fingers, shit like that. And I don't know if it's deliberately coded in that we can still pick it up or what's actually happening, but it's a real thing.
It's definitely a real thing. It annoys me, like, asking ChatGPT stuff throughout the day. It'll give you something wrong and then you correct it. and it goes, yeah, you're exactly right. Sorry, I was wrong. Let me correct myself. And so if you didn't pick up on that mistake, you would have been fed false info. So yeah, it's still a
Yeah,
problem.
but I sometimes have the idea that they're doing that deliberately.
Like today, I asked it a question
the
about
amount-
Streamlabs audio, and I was like, "Oh, that doesn't sound right. Is this right?" And it's like, "Yeah, that's exactly right." It didn't say I got confused, but it said, "Yeah, the Streamlab audio setup is different to how we set it before." And I was like, "What?" So yeah, it's not perfect.
Yeah, and I think for certain, like someone is with in the construction area, like it has definitely, you know, there's no way to make Excels faster, to run through data, make overviews, summaries, stuff like that. AI is unbeatable, but there are definitely so many aspects where it still isn't that good yet, and that's what we have to keep in mind, you know.
That's a good point about the construction.
People use it as a replacement too much instead of as a tool. At least that's my opinion.
I think that's valid. And by the way, just to clarify, I'm not talking about Bitcoin. I'm talking about US equities because that's what I have more of a background in Bitcoin. So if you look at the S&P and so on, that's what I'm referring to with being risk off, because the downside potential is high. But this is just my opinion. I'm not a pro by any means. It's the way I'm looking at it and what I'm doing with my money. I did buy some Bitcoin on that flash dump down to 60K. I bought it 62K. When was that? A few weeks ago or a month ago?
Yeah.
It just says I
Who
use
told
AI
you to
in
buy
my
that?
work, but without me, AI is completely useless. I agree with that for sure. But if, for example, you had a team of 5 people a few years ago, you could now just be yourself, and then you're the one who's instructing the AI, and those other 4 people are now useless. So there's always going to need to be some people, but I feel like there's going to just naturally need to be less people, and that's going to cause a problem. I'm not sure what the solution is when a large, even doesn't even have to be that large of a percentage, but a big chunk of people are out of work just because there's no need for them to be paid what they were being paid because the computer does it so much faster. And yeah, computers have always been really good, but just the accessibility for anyone to be able to control an AI is so easy now. Everyone knows how to use ChatGPT and use it to break down Excel sheets and analyze companies, whether they want to invest in them, and compare insurance services, all of these basic little things. Yeah, I agree, Tom. It takes away a potential step that you no longer need to do, having to reach out to someone or know someone personally who's an expert in something. And yes, obviously we've always had Google, and you can find what you need. Anything that AI is telling you, you can find it in Google, but it's just so much easier. So much easier.
Yeah. Sometimes I think, like, I was asked to invest in a startup, and these guys were building an AI browser that you could talk against. And honestly, I don't even see the added value of it. Like, yo, this and that. Can you please book me a ticket to this, a hotel for that? But then you need to have a 10-minute conversation. So also when they were doing their investor pitch to me, like, yo, are you willing to be an angel investor, stuff like that? I was like, bro, what's your added value, you know? Because honestly, if I look at this, I'm probably faster typing it myself.
OpenAI has their own browser. I wonder how that's performing. I downloaded it, but I never ended up really using it. Used it for one day.
Which one?
Brave it's called... they have a browser. It's called Atlas, I think. The Atlas.
Oh yeah, Atlas is one of the big ones as well. You have Brave and Atlas.
I never used it though. I used it for a day. I just found it weird compared to Chrome. Chrome's just so easy and intuitive.
Yeah, it's true. 100% true.
Yeah, I think my overall thesis and sentiment about where we are right now is just that there's so much that can happen, like so much that can unfold, and so much uncertainty, and that that worries me. Pretty much what it boils down to personally. But yeah, I'm can be very easily swayed on that opinion with people who are more educated. I'm definitely not the most educated. TA wise, what are you looking at? How do you want to enter? What are you going to risk, etc. Chento, have you got some info about that?
One second. What was the question?
That recent live saying TA wise, what are you looking at? How do you want to enter? What are you going to risk, etc. I think they're referring to the challenge.
Bro, with the challenge, I can't tell you exactly what we're going to risk because it all depends on what the market is giving us, and currently it's not giving us anything. So the answer to that currently is we're gonna risk nothing. I think for the actual challenge, it will be max 20 to 30% risk, depending on how certain we are of XYZ setup. Yeah, we need to have certain risk in order to make it. And what people need to understand is a challenge is different than, you know, normal everyday trading. Why? Because we're setting goals here, right? And these goals are rather hefty, rather big, and rather out of the ordinary. And you can't go with 2% risk trying to 10x your money. It's not happening. It's not a fairy tale. It's not fairy dozen. It's not unicorn tears. So yeah, but right now, indeed, what Tom Bush is saying, it's a trading nightmare what we're currently looking at. It's not going above 72.2. It's not going below 70 or 74.2. It's not going. Look at these 2 5-second candles. Like, where the fuck does this come from? You know, price like, you know what? I'm just gonna pump $60 up again. Why? I don't know, man. Just because I feel it.
It says
This is
also
just-
Baxter AI companies are still just burning money at insane rates. It could still be the wrong approach the way we're implementing it. Yeah, that's very valid. Very valid for sure. So in your opinion, does that impact the US equities? Like, are you bullish in compared to me being bearish right now?
I'm sidelined on everything that has to do with stocks, etc. I think we're gonna go to a period where cash is king again and blood is gonna be running in the streets.
Like
And then
potential for that as
I
well.
have the tendency to be cash heavy, to be honest.
It's a weird one. We're in a weird time. I feel like these times are going to be in the history books. 100 years. How is AI going to replace OnlyFans? That's pretty funny because it effectively is right now. At least what Chento was telling me.
Bro, look, it's leaving the screen again. Why? Because, I don't know. No one knows, to be honest.
We might be on for another dud day. Another boring day. If we think nothing is going to happen, then we can call it and come back when there's some stuff going on. The other potential thing that we could do is you execute the trade during FOMC time if there's one that you want to execute while it's 5 a.m. for me. Not quite the same rules as this challenge, which is us doing it together, but if there's potential for a banger there, it could be an option.
Bro, the only banger that's got... There are no bangers here. Bro, look at what it did again on the 5 minutes. Bro, look at this. Completely unheard of, completely uncalled for. 0.25% move up again. Bex, what do you say about we just call it a day for today? Because it's not gonna move, it's not gonna work. we can sit here and talk for a couple more hours, but it's
Yo, that's fine. You're the trader, so you let me know
Yeah.
what you think is the move.
yeah.
and
Just
we'll
go to
run with it.
bed, set your alarm, and we'll take it from there. Because honestly, this is having zero added value, man. Absolutely zero.
So when's the good time to trade on FOMC? Is it like an hour after the results?
It's not, to be honest. I normally don't trade FOMC, so I have to see how we're gonna approach this. But I'll keep you in the loop. You're up for a bit more, right? But I think we're gonna
I'll be
end the
up for
stream because
I'll be
it's
up for another couple hours.
yeah.
All right, people.
Let's
Sorry for
let's
the
see how we're
boringness
gonna do it.
again.
Yeah, but it's better to just quit it here because it's not gonna do more. It's not gonna go crazy. This is it, you know.
And if we end up taking nothing today and tomorrow, we'll extend the challenge out by a few days to make up for the boringness.
Yeah.
Because we're gonna need it anyway.
Yeah.
We're probably not going to be able to do it all in 5 days. So we'll extend it by a few days. It's my fault. I've obviously chosen a bad time. But we'll get there. We'll figure it out. At least we're not down. That's the important thing.
Let's do it.